Oh, I like the intro. Hi, everyone. Welcome on into the first ever Comic Book Women podcast. The girls and I are really excited to be here tonight. The show has been in the works for quite some time now, so we're all a little bit nervous, but mostly just pumped to have this finally taking off. If you haven't already seen all of the promotion and advertisements we've been putting out, Comic Book Women in a nutshell is just a place for us to come and talk comics and TV and movies. We're going to interview female creators and other members of the community, and maybe occasionally cosplay. We're still working on that. So for tonight, we're just going to kind of do a quick intro of who we are and then get into the books. So first off, we have Jen. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so I've been into comics since before I could read. To elaborate a tiny bit more, that started with Sunday paper. I used to have to cut out the Phantom comics because I discovered that to get the whole story, you had to collect them. So I was like 4 or 5. This picture, I love Bumblebee and the original Transformers.
Oh my God.
I'm definitely an 80s kid, so all that is just wrapped into me.
Oh no, the haircut, you're rocking it. You're rocking the bang. I like it.
My mom gave me that haircut. Yeah.
You're 4 in this, you said? You're 4 years old here?
No, I think that is probably like 6 or 7.
But
and then that's around when I got my first comic, which was ASM 349.
Ooh, nice. Okay, very cool. So guys, that is Jennifer, or we call her Jen. But all right, and then we have Lucy.
Hello. Hi. So the way I got into comics, so you can see, I used to work at a comic book store, and I went in not knowing anything and coming out there with a pool and everything and reading, from there I learned about independent comics, and I have no idea what independent comics were. I just knew DC and Marvel, and I don't know, just the covers of the comics that it pulled me in.
I'm the same exact way. I'm the same way. So I'm guessing you were pregnant here.
Yes, I was 8 months pregnant there. When I started working there, I found out I was pregnant, and right there was my last day of working. But yes, I was ready to have that baby.
What better place, right? So that baby was already learning comics before they were born, basically, right?
Oh yes, I was reading. I was reading to that little munchkin in there.
Oh, I love it. Okay, very good. So guys, that's Lucy. Make sure you show her some love. Oh, and here we go. For those of you who don't already know who I am, I'm Laura. Hi. I am the co-owner of Bird City Comics, and you'll see we go live on Facebook Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. So we do a lot of live shows, and this is me at my first con, the Fan Fusion. What year was that in? Like 2019? 18, 19, I don't know. But this is where I really got into it because Anthony's like, Laura, you got to start participating. And I'm like, okay. But same deal as Lucy. I knew nothing. So I'm nowhere near Jen's level, but I'm getting there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there. We're gonna grow together. That's again the point of this show, is just to kind of let everybody of all different levels come in, and we'll all learn together. 51% of Bird City. All right. So to kick off tonight, we're gonna dive into books. We're gonna give you guys a brief look at what our faves are. We'll start with Jen.
So Heir to the Empire, I love Mara Jade. I'm starting to think that we're not gonna get her in the Star Wars movies, but I just, that's where I kind of fell in love with the other characters besides the original cast.
Nice. He's looking buff.
And then Terry McGinnis, like, I know it was not the 80s, it was the 90s, but I pray and hope that one day we will get a movie. I hope they're leaving that direction now with the extended universe. And then this is my second comic book, but my favorite cover. It was a 2-parter, and that's when I got introduced to Dr. Doom, and I was like 7 or 6, and I just was like, this is awesome. And like the art, I can't, like the storyline, I can't.
Is Dr. Doom your favorite villain?
In the Marvel universe, yeah.
I like that. I play Fortnite a lot, and they actually have a Dr. Doom's castle, and you can see his doom all over the walls. I know.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Like if you go inside, you can see just Dr. Doom portraits everywhere, and that is a very cool character. Do you own this book then?
I do. I have it in both newsstand and direct.
Yeah, my son talks about that. I always call it Fortnite, and he makes fun of me. But yeah, he tells me about the characters. It's such
right
a
now, it's all Marvel and stuff right now, so you can be like Wolverine, and I don't know. Again, I'm a nerd that way. So, are these all of yours, Jen?
There should be another one.
Maybe one more.
I actually really love the IDW series, and this is the first appearance of Jenica. Well, I guess cameo. Next one, she has a mask off, but I love this cover. It was really hard to find for a while because the Jenica stuff just kind of took off, but I found one.
I never seen that cover.
It's the whole IDW series. Like I totally recommend it for even like the people who didn't grow up with the cartoons and movies. Like, oh, it's so good.
Okay, hold on. I want to experiment here real quick. Wait, let's go back to that turtle book. Okay, hold on. Don't make fun of me.
Okay.
The red one is Raphael. Yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, that's one. The purple one is Donatello. Mm-hmm. The orange is Michelangelo. Mm-hmm. Leonardo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got them all.
There was like a pretty high chance I was going to mess that up. So, okay, I got it. For not having like kids into the turtles, that's pretty cool.
My son's
this is a neat little. It's what?
My son's into turtles, so I know them. I have to know them.
Do you have a favorite? Which one's your favorite turtle?
Mikey. Jen, which one's your favorite?
Leonardo. Like just the leader.
That one's the really smart one, right?
Donatello is. He's my second favorite. Yeah.
I like that one the best. Okay, sorry. Tried to interject there, but I wanted to know if I could do it. Okay, go ahead.
And then X-Men #1, my library had I don't know, what do you call them? Like a big omnibus, but back then they didn't really call them that. It was just a book in the library, and I was like, it was like black and white, and the X-Men from this to the cartoon series like just hooked me. Like all the different things that they tackled, and but now there's just so many X-Men titles, it's kind of hard to keep up with.
It's really hard to keep up with.
Yeah, I can't. That's one thing with Marvel. I get pretty confused with those. I like the X-Men too. Like out of all the superheroes in Marvel universe, like I always lean more to X-Men. And when I try to get in, I always kind of, because there's so many books and crossovers and stuff like that. But
what does it say on it? X-Men versus Magneto. Earth's most powerful. Okay, so Magneto, I kind of have a little bit of a girl crush. Isn't that just one of those villains where you can kind of understand his reasoning? Kind of like Loki. So I might get some shit for that, but...
Do you have a crush on Magneto or that Fassbender guy?
Magneto.
Okay.
Yeah, Magneto as the character. His Magneto character I like. I like Loki. Again, I'm going to probably get some shit for that, but I understand, and I'm going to say it. I kind of get where Thanos is coming from.
It's, you know what, I think you're right. Like with Magneto, like I feel like he's not like a total bad guy.
Well, his arc is super interesting because he goes from being the villain and the opposite of Charles to eventually leading the X-Men, and like it's just the X-Men series. There's a lot of material out there to read, and then
So that's probably why it's one of your favorites.
Yeah, I was reading the Secret Wars, and I could see when he's obviously an outcast, right? But you see his side, like you said, Laura. You could see his side of and it's like it's for him. It's like for the good of his people. That's how I see it.
Protecting his tribe.
Yeah.
I think Marvel's going to have a great time with him because they did a great job with Killmonger, and it's a similar villain of like, you understand like where they're coming from. So
what did you think of Dark Phoenix, the movie?
It was, It was worth watching. It was worth watching. I felt like I'm glad I finally saw it. I saw it for free on TV instead of paying for it.
That helps.
I let the people I try not to let people sway my opinion, but I didn't go. That's one of the only movies I didn't go and see in theaters, and I kind of regret it because I should have just kept it up. But
I liked it.
Yeah,
you liked it or you didn't?
I did. I did. I liked it. Yeah.
It had good parts.
Yeah. I didn't think compared to the very first ones, I have always argued like, oh, they were okay, they were not bad. And then I haven't watched them in a long time. And then now that, a lot of them, you can watch them on Disney Plus, I think.
Mhm.
And I watched it and I was like, what was I thinking? It was really bad. But the other ones, the First Class, and those are good. I like those. The newer ones that I like. But the first when Rogue comes out, the first time they show Rogue and everything, like I'm like, oh geez, yeah, no. I take that back.
I mean, that's awesome. I feel like the originals had to be there to break ground, and then the new stuff, like when people were like, "Oh, that was a horrible movie," and I was like, "Oh, maybe it is." Like, I think when we get very dogmatic in how we want these movies portrayed is when we start to get, like, the Phoenix one got a lot of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like because people had how they wanted to go down, it didn't happen that way. It was completely different. But it's just like that was their take on it, and we're probably gonna get that again tomorrow at the MCU, most likely.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Oh, we're moving on to Lucy. So, Lucy, what are your faves?
So, Saga is one of my all-time favorite. It's one book that I started reading when I was pregnant, and I don't know if it was a good idea or not because it just kind of like as a mom being pregnant, as a mom protecting your family, I was just crying.
Hit too close to home, huh?
It did. And I just love that whole Romeo Juliet vibe. And, that's how I always explain like Star Wars and mixed with Romeo and Juliet. And I just love that story. I mean, I can't wait for them to bring it back. And that's one of my favorite books. And I think I just felt like more as a mom, I feel like I connect with that book. And with the other characters, they have so many amazing characters in that book. And yeah, that's one of my favorites for sure. And I'm sure other people. Another one, Kanto. This one, I mean, have you guys watched Number 9, the movie Number 9?
Yes.
It's, Wizard Ross, Number 9 kind of thing. And it's such a lovely story. It's like a love story, but then at the same time, it's like he finds himself and, he's the hero of the story.
Not to mention, look at Drew Zucker's art on this. That is phenomenal.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Every cover this series has, it's amazing. Yeah. And yeah, this one, I mean, it's such a cute little.
I wish I owned this. Do you own Number 1?
I do. Oh. I do. I actually have 2. I sent one to CGC, and my husband just bought recently the second one because I told him about the story, and he bought 1 through 6 because he liked the whole idea of Kanto.
Yeah.
So I love it.
It's also great for all ages. Like if you have kids.
Yes. He's so brave, and I just feel like, it's good for definitely for kids.
It's a solid choice.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. What else?
And Middle West. I think all 3 is like the mom thing in me. Middle West, this one, it's, another one. Abel, it's such one of the stories that you just want to give him a hug and tell him everything's going to be okay. And, again, Scotty Young just, oh my God, killed it with this one.
Wait, so what's the story here? I haven't read this one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I haven't.
Well, it's about this kid. He's with his dad, a single dad, single parent, and he's not getting along with his dad. The dad just kind of, you see the monster in the bag? That's his dad. and he's running away, trying to find himself trying to run away from his dad, and he has a little thing in his chest, and he's trying to figure out what's going on with him. The little fox right there, it's his best friend, and it's kind of also, it's like Jiminy Cricket. That's this
Jiminy Fox.
Yeah, like that, and he just goes on a journey to figure it out himself, to find himself, and also running away from his dad. And this story, I mean, again, the last issue, I was crying.
Oh, Jen, have you read this?
No, it's on my to read list though.
Okay, you and I both have to read this because Lucy just sold me. This sounds like even the cover is fire. That's something you definitely, I would.
Every cover, even the second prints, third prints, oh my god, it's amazing. I love the story so much.
Scotty Young, you think, okay, little cartoon baby looking figures, you don't really give him the appreciation that he deserves as a writer. He does have an incredible writing skill, so this is one of those examples, and I'll have to read it. Okay, very nice. What's the next one? Something's killing the children. This one, oh my god, Erica, she's a freaking badass woman. She's amazing. And this one, I'll tell you a little bit about it. If whoever hasn't read it yet, I'm sure everybody read it because it's like a hot book. Yeah. She is, especially because I love horror, all the creepy stuff. And this one, a town where kids are disappearing, and oh my gosh, let me see. Let me put it together. You got
this. There's this kids, how always they say that there's like the monsters in the shadows and stuff like that, right? So there's these kids talking about the stories, and they get attacked, and all of them, they're gone, only one of them, and obviously they're not. This town is pointing this kid as the weird kid, and probably he killed him, or he did something with them. But this lady over here comes into town, and she's the only one who believes him. And and he tells him, like, if I tell you, you're not gonna believe me. The adults, obviously, they don't believe him, But she was like, I believe you. Like, so it's just monsters that adults cannot see, only kids.
And this is such an appropriate cover to have here, because it's like you have Jenny Frison as the artist.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Amazing. And you have the female cover. So this just completely fits the bill tonight for this podcast. And these books have just been getting more and more popular. I heard that issue 16 is going to branch off into a different story arc.
Oh,
so I'm seeing what the twists and turns coming up are going to be, because it's going to be an ongoing series since it's so popular. But this is a solid book. What do you think, Jen?
Jenny Frison is one of those artists that I think she was like really hot for a while, and then for some reason, like her Wonder Woman covers and some of her other covers kind of like flew under the radar for a little bit, but she's coming back. She's great. Yeah,
I bought every Wonder Woman cover of hers, and any book that she comes out with, I try to buy it. And Unkind of Ravens, I think I picked it up. She did the cover B, and I didn't see a lot of people picking or posting about that one. And Kindness of Ravens, she did the cover B for that one, and I didn't see a lot of people talking.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I do.
Can I see it? Can you hold it up?
I have it. I don't have it in here with me. I can grab it real quick if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, run and grab it. I want to see. Okay. Now I'm curious. Okay. We'll wait.
Okay.
Jen and I will just hang out for a second.
If you want, I went to a small Comic-Con in Chicago this past weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're going right now.
Yeah, well, they kept it like 50 people per room, and then they were really strict about that. And we had to wear masks and hand sanitizer. And
did you pick up anything good?
I picked up a lot. The stuff that I thought was interesting and it just made me smile. And it was only 50 cents. But the amalgam preview.
Okay.
Oh, 50 cents?
It was 50 cents, right? Amalgam. I was like, 50 cents, why not, right? And then right behind that, they had the amalgam of Captain America and Superman. So I was like,
Sergeant Rock, baby. Anything with Sergeant Rock, I'm sold.
It's 50 cents, so it's like, how can I say no to that?
Right. Lucy, did you find it?
Yes, I did.
Let's see it.
This one right here.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
wow.
I did not
that's
see that.
beautiful.
I did not see it in the comic book store. It's called what again? Write it down.
Yeah, Kindness of Ravens.
Kindness of Ravens. Yeah, I honestly, if I would have just been walking by, I don't know if I would have
Cover
pegged
A.
that.
Oops.
Oh, okay, so it's cover B.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. You have to let us know if the storyline's any good.
Oh, I liked it. I read it already. It's good.
All right. Do you have any more? Oh wait, we're into
It's
mine.
my turn, Laura.
We move forward. Lock and Key. I mean, come on. This is one of those. I actually watched the show before I read the comic books, and it was one of those shows that the kids and I would all sit down and I would scream at certain scenes. And Joe Hill, phenomenal writer. Do you guys know who he's related to?
Yep.
Who?
Stephen King.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it. I was going to sound all smart and be like, I know something you don't know.
I love Joe Hill, so I do. I know.
It will happen. Somewhere in this podcast, at some point, one of these Tuesdays, I'll know something you guys don't already know.
I'm sure you will. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. I'm sure you will.
But anyway, I mean, awesome book. Awesome. It's an awesome show. I actually have it slabbed up on my wall over here. So just another good indie book if you like a good story. Mm-hmm. Moving on. Oh. I feel like my choices are just so obvious. The Umbrella Academy. Have you guys watched it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
season 1 was awesome. I haven't watched season 2 yet. I've been putting it in the back burner.
I watched it.
What do you think of season 2, Lucy, without giving away anything?
I liked it. I just think the time, the era that they played in, I love all that. So for me, I liked it.
I liked it too. I mean, there was it got mixed reviews. Jen, it goes back and they're all kind of stuck in different time frames, and it's kind of crazy time wise, but really beautiful costumes in the show, and the story holds up. Maybe not quite as exciting as season 1, but I mean that's everything, right?
Yeah, there's some things that I didn't like, but I mean, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, having the between season 1 season 2, was it like a year and a half? Was it a year?
I think it was a year. It was a year.
It's kind of hard. Like when they do the ones that are closer together, then I will pop right back into season 2. But when they are like a year apart, I'm like, oh, I have time. Like I'll just do it later.
And then just binge watch the whole thing all over again. Yeah. But there you go. The leading up to the end is worth it. I agree with that. I think that if you just stick it out and kind of just wait and see what happens, and then eventually you get there.
Yeah.
All right.
At this one, it's actually I watched the show first, and then on season 1, and then I read only volume 1. I haven't read for the second season. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know.
Season 1's like a mixture of volume 1 and volume 2.
Oh, okay.
From my understanding.
Yeah. Okay. Then I need to read it again then.
All right, the next one, The Boys. I don't even feel like, thank you. I don't even feel like I have the right to bring this up because I have not watched season 2 yet. But I really like the story, and I've watched season 1. Anthony and I sat there for nights on end with pizza after pizza after pizza going through this, and we've read all of them, but I haven't gotten to season 2 yet. So don't tell me any spoilers, but...
Don't worry, I haven't watched it either.
You haven't?
I haven't even finished season 1.
Oh.
I need to.
Did someone just... What's the $2.99? Is someone...
We're making money.
I think that's her name. I think that's her name.
They're throwing dollars. We're making money.
Wait, I'm not even dancing. Just kidding.
That'll be a different show, right? That's not this show.
Wait, hold on.
Thank you, Stein. Thank you. Appreciate it.
This is cracking me up. Oh my God. Anyway, The Boys. Most of you have probably already seen it. Fantastic. Reborn. Okay, this is the one I was waiting for because this is my all-time favorite comic. Have you guys read this?
No.
I bought it recently, but I haven't read it yet.
No.
Just read issue 1. Read issue 1 and you will be sold. The story is phenomenal and they're turning it into a film. Sandra Bullock, right? Is she directing it or
Netflix,
I think she's gonna direct. She might direct it. That's what I read. You know what? I think I might have read only issue 1. I don't remember when it came out.
Oh, it's such a good. I mean, Greg Capullo, Mark Miller. There you go. That's all the information you need. The covers are phenomenal. The artwork is phenomenal, but the story is so good. By far, my favorite. So you got to get on that.
Yeah, I need to.
Otherwise, I'm going to mute both your mics if you guys don't read this book.
Okay.
Okay. We'll read it.
Oh, crap. I forgot I chose this one. Okay. Anthony just actually walked him back. I have the 9.8 Bone Parish #1 slab. Look at that. Woo!
Nice. Don't have them slab. I have just the I have not read it. I have all of them. And
You haven't read them?
No.
Again, this is one of those stories where Anthony's like, Laura, trust me, you're going to like this. So I go into my room and I'm reading this. I'm like, oh, shit. This is really good. You know, I'm like, okay, I see this. And I'm flipping through and I'm like, this is one of those stories that after you read the first issue, you're like, okay, where's number 2? Where's number 3? Like you can't stop because it's so good. It's so spooky, but in a good way.
Okay. And you know what? That's why that cover, all of them, all the covers were amazing. And that's why I kept, even though I wasn't reading it, I was picking them up. And like I said, I have them, but they're on my to read pile. And I need to pick them up and read them.
That's homework. I'll do Middle West. You read Bone Parish and Reborn for me. Jen, you haven't read this one either?
No. There's so many, look, like TV show and movies, there's so much content. And like my pull list at one point was like 30, 35 comics. And I got down to 20 and I'm like, and then I'll see stuff on the shelf randomly, like not this one, but like, oh shoot, like other ones. She just came out, Department of Truth. And and I'm like, oh, I'll put this on my reading pile. But like the reading pile is getting pretty big. So
did you see that Department of Truth cover where he's like eating the baby?
Isn't that for issue 2?
Issue 2.
Yeah. That was creepy.
Crazy.
That's a weird ass cover. I was looking at that. I'm like, what is happening here? So, that speaks to you as a mother, right, Lucy? When you want to eat your children.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, all right. So those were my picks. That pretty much wraps up what our favorites are. You guys feel free to stay in the chat or whatever, what your favorites are or what you recommend us to read. If we haven't already, we'll try to get to it. So moving on. What do we have next? Oh, next up, we are going to be talking about books that we are looking forward to, and we will kick it off with Jen.
Oh, so Bad Idea. Okay, so Bad Idea, I think like over half the comic community probably already heard about this if you're watching Instagram or YouTube channels, but it's their own publisher and it's an distributor also. If you go to whereisbadidea.com, it'll take you to a site where you can see if there's one in your area that's participating because they're not going to be available everywhere. So check that out. If you aren't near one, I think a couple of them are going to ship them to you if you're within that state or something. But this is a
new publisher, and they are printing their own books and distributing their own books.
Yeah. But
so they can go to their website and order from them if they cannot find it in the comic book store?
So you have to contact the comic book store and see like, hey, like the ones that are beyond on that whereismybadidea.com, I would find one that's like in your state and then call and be like, hey, are you shipping? And if they say no, then ask somebody else, to get to it. Cause it is
we'll just call Jen. Be like, Jen, we need this book.
Call Jen.
Make this happen. We need this. What's this story?
So Enact is coming out first. It's March. I know it's 2021. So it seems like a long time away, but I would just set it. Go ahead and like order it, and then you can like relax. Because if you try to get this like when it comes out in March, it's going to be super difficult to do that. But Enact is basically like spies with a Scanite type doomsday AI, and like it's. Like,
I mean, if that cover doesn't call to you,
yeah.
What's happening there though? Is it light bulbs?
So basically, it's like a doomsday AI, and it just gets out of control. And for a while, it just like, because basically it like pits government against government, trying to like, because at first it was just trying to defeat, I think just like the Russians or defeat one of our like enemies. But then it like went away, and they're like, well, what the heck, where'd it go? And it comes back later, and it's like got like a doomsday clock, and it's like doing weird crap, and there's like spies that are hired to try to take it out, and I don't. It's got me with this image, and then the description they had. I was like, okay, like that's worth $3.99 the cover price. So.
Oh, for sure. And I love the dress she's rocking there.
Yeah, very was like a rabbit.
Oh yeah, she even has the red wig in her hand.
Oh snap! That's true.
See, I knew something you didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that.
That counts, damn it. Okay, what's this one, Jen?
And then this is Tankers. It comes out in April, and it's basically time travel with dinosaurs and greed over oil, and doing an interesting, like a CEO chooses an interesting route because oil's running out. They decide to go back and change time, but by accident they fuck it up. Oh, can I? They mess it up. They mess it up. Sorry. They mess it up.
Lucy, Jen said fuck.
Don't say that. How my son will say, don't say that.
Oops. So yeah, they mess it up, and now there's dinosaurs. So, yep.
Jen, it makes me feel any better. I always cuss on the shows, and I always tell myself I'm not going to cuss on this show, and then I always do.
It happens. Okay, so this one's my pick is The Lot. This one comes out on July 2021. In this one, it's like a 1970s. It starts in the 1970s, and it's a horror. Oh my goodness! I completely
reset.
It's a Hollywood. It's a Hollywood, like like Hollywood horror things that happen, and I mean that cover is just freaking amazing. I mean, like I said, usually with comics, the covers is what it pulls me. In this one, it just speaks to me and it's telling me it's going to be amazing and horrific in a good way. But yeah, this one, that's one that you should add to your pull list.
Do we know who the artist is there?
It's the artist. It's Renato. I can't pronounce him last.
I'll look it up.
It's Guedes.
Guedes.
I'm sorry.
Man,
yeah, and I'm not good with the last name. Sorry.
Well, the art's fantastic. I think I really like that black and white. I think that's very cool. It's very spooky, and it kind of just. I mean, look at her eyeball. She's like something is going down.
Yeah, and it's like the film. I mean, obviously, like. I don't know. It looks like a little bit of Frankenstein type of thing. Like I don't know.
Yes, that's it. I was trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Like I mean, it's just so much going on in this picture. Like the hand, the nails, the key and the hand, and like the film.
The camera's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know, but this one looks pretty interesting.
When did this come out?
July 2021.
Oh man. Okay. So we have a ways.
We still have, but I mean, like Jen said, the time goes by fast, and by the time, and especially if it's a small press, there's not going to be that many comics out there. So
yeah,
I mean, it's better to order now.
Very cool. Moving on to the next one. Ooh.
So Sleigh Bells is a one shot. It will come out in July of 2021. I kind of really wish it came out in December, but the premise is some hunters accidentally kill Rudolph, and Santa finds out, and they were trying to cover it up. So I think violence and hilarity ensues. I will definitely pick this up.
Definitely going to the naughty list.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was telling you, Futurama, probably that's what happened, they pissed off Santa Claus.
What's happening on this page here? So it says crack, like he's being hit in the head with a bat. Is that Santa being hit?
No. So I think I saw another panel where the person was trying to lead him like away from people to something that was going to happen to Santa, and then Santa retaliated. But then he's like, oh no. But then I think from there it just like chaos ensues. It's a fun
gangster. But the only problem, you said this is releasing
in July.
July. It would have been a good Christmas comic.
It really would have. Like, I really think this would have sold so much better. But it's a one shot. But even still, like, release it in the month that it fits in. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a great idea to have all your kids around the fire reading sleigh bells. The night before Christmas and all through the house, Santa got beat by a bat or beat somebody with a bat, whatever.
Yeah, he's
a new tradition. But yeah, July, I mean, we'll still have to pick it up since we're looking at it now. This might be a good one to come back on and, you know.
And you said this one's a one shot, right?
You have to one shot.
Okay.
I want it though. I like it.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. This one I was excited about. When Jen she sent me this list and I was going through them and I'm reading all the synopsis and I was like, okay, Whalesville. The best way to describe it is if pretend you're Alice and you got swallowed by a whale and you fall into a world inside the whale's belly. You just tumble down that whale hole. I said whale hole. Does that count as a bad word?
No,
you tumble down the whale hole. Oh, blowhole. Blowhole. That's what I meant to say. Damn it, I'm messing up my turn. Okay, so anyway, you tumble down the blowhole and you enter this whole new world of creatures and imagination. And I think the artwork is phenomenal on the cover. Yeah. I mean, this is any fantasy reader's dream, right? To kind of enter this whole new world. And I sound like Jasmine from Aladdin. Yeah.
Are you going to start singing?
I'm going to. I'm going to break out here in song. Jen, I don't know when this comes out though. When does this come out?
It comes out in May 2021.
Oh, so we have okay.
Yeah, we have
a little bit of a ways to go, but I love the art. What do you guys think of that cover?
I love it. I like how he's like sitting down eating inside. Like it looks like he's in a restaurant.
The waves remind me of that one Japanese piece that's like infamous. The waves.
Japanese piece that's infinite.
I see.
It does look very Japanese, the waves, though. You're right. I didn't even put that together. Yeah. It looks very sketchy. Can you imagine if we got Frank Cho to do a cover? The line sketch variant, what he could do with this. I mean, I know it's an indie book, but still.
Yes.
All right.
If somebody sends him the idea, maybe.
Yeah, maybe we could go for it. Yeah. Do we have any other books on the list, or was that the last one for the Bad Ideas?
The Bad Ideas released the 5. There's a picture that shows 6, but they didn't release what that 6 cover title is. But it looks really cool. I just kind of just waiting anticipation.
So maybe on the next show we'll be able to throw those up and see what happens with them.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, hopefully you kind of got a taste of what this show is going to be like. It's going to be just women. We are going to have guest hosts. We're going to try to have at least 4 girls on every show to do exactly what we did here. We're going to talk comics, TV, movies, pop culture type stuff, kind of offer our unique feminine insights to the comic book world.
Ladies, I have a quick question from out in the ether that I figure we could kind of end the show with. What I would like to hear a little bit more about Jen's weekend at the con, and maybe after she talks about her weekend at the con, I would like to hear from each of you your con experiences. What if you ladies have been to conventions and what your experiences at conventions have been like, and maybe a couple good stories about being at conventions. So I'll let you guys go ahead, and that's from everybody out there. Thanks everybody for watching.
Cool. So the Comic-Con started at 9. I got there because I anticipated a ton of people. I'm like, okay, I'll show up an hour early. So I got there at 8 and I was second in line, and that was it.
Of course,
and then I waited for an hour, and more people started like trickling in. And we had hand sanitizer, we had to wear masks, and then they were just very cognizant of 50 per room and keeping that controlled, which was fine. It was to be expected. There was some great deals that, again, like 50 cents for a ball and chain that was optioned. But, option news is always like, is it going to happen? But the
right, because everything's option nowadays.
Yeah. But like, again, like for 50 cents and like, I mean, half the books I got for 50 cents were not bagged and boarded, but they're still decent condition. And they were still like, I don't know if this is really signed by Dan Slott. But if it, I guess if I ever want to send it to CBCS to get it verified, I can. But it was interesting also digging in the boxes and having to be, we weren't 6 feet apart, but I want to say that we at least were a comic book box or two. And then we're just very aware of like, okay, next one. So it was kind of interesting because if someone was slow, you kind of had to like go around them, but it was super awkward. I picked up the set of
nice.
Black Knight. They were all $1 each. So I'm like,
Jen,
okay.
where was this?
Oh, it was at the Rose. It was next to Rosemont. It was at a hotel. And in Chicago, Illinois. Sorry.
Which city?
Chicago. Well, it was near Chicago. Rosemont is like a town outside of it. Held in a hotel, and then the guy said that he was going to do another one in December. I got that for $2. It's a Miss Marvel.
I literally have that on my desk over here.
Oh, you do?
I do. It's
nice.
somewhere.
And then this one guy had, I'm like, what, $2 box. He's like, oh, whatever's in that box is $2. I'm like, anything? And he's like, yeah. And I found this, and I'm like, I mean, it says 40, and it's the Ultimates number 1 in 50. And then so I pulled it out and I showed it to him, and he's like, oh, I did say $2. And I was like, so he gave it to me for $2.
You're all, yeah, you did, and you're gonna honor it. $2.
Yeah. So like it was just so great to dig again and be in a comic convention because it's been since C2E2 since March. So yeah.
Very cool. I'm glad to see that some of them are still coming back, and I miss the cons. I really do. The only one I am ashamed to say, I've only been to one, and it was the Phoenix Fan Fusion, which is where Anthony and I set up our first ever Bird City Comics booth. And that was an experience, just to see the wide range of people that went through there. It was like Halloween, kind of. There were guys dressed up as girls and their Harley Quinn outfits. It was a lot of fun, though. I mean, it was a no judgment zone, and everybody kind of came in. The best costume I saw was the full cast of Harry Potter. Yes, if you're watching, I love magic. Love magic. I know you don't, but I do. So the full cast of Harry Potter, you had McGonagall and Malfoy and Hagrid even all came through. So the con was pretty neat, but that's the only one I've been to. Lucy, have you been to any?
We had 3 local Comic Cons here in Palm Springs, and those are the only ones that I've been to because it was 3 years, 4 years when I started working at the comic book store. And when I stopped working, I was like, because I would work every weekend. When I stopped working, I was like, yes, finally, which was in November. I'm like, finally, I'm going to be able to go to a con. And then this year, everything happened. So, but before that, those 3 the cons that we had here, I did go. And it was amazing. I love them. One of the cons we had Jim Lee. We had Ramos, Sean Murphy, so many, Scotty Young. I got to meet a bunch of different artists, and the good thing about having them here that it wasn't so busy compared to the other cons. San Diego's only a couple hours away, and the Comic-Con San Diego. I never been, and I don't know if I really want to go, honestly, because I know it's like huge, and I'm not going to be.
Let's all meet up there and go together. We'll
at least once. At least once. Yeah,
that will be a good idea. Probably once, at least once.
No, you can't come. Girls only.
Oh. That would be awesome. And well, the LA Con and the WonderCon, it's also only 2 hours away from me. So I was looking forward to go to those two because I know they're not as big as San Diego. So. But I did have my experiences here in town, and I was able to dress. I did cosplay Wonder Woman, a bombshell Wonder Woman.
I want a picture. Do we all want a picture?
I have that on my Instagram. Oh my goodness. Let me see real quick. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I want to see this.
I definitely feel like I definitely feel like going to comic conventions, like the closest thing I can think that you can like akin it to is like going to church, but for us, right? Because it's one of the few times I can go and just like be myself and
It's a
just like nerd out.
experience.
Yeah, well, just because it's like everyone there, likes the stuff that you like or similar, or like this genre, like it. Yeah, I love going to comic conventions.
Like a safe place, like therapy almost.
Oh.
You show up, and you can lay on the middle of the floor. Nobody will care. It doesn't matter. You can show up naked.
Well, that's me. Wait, hold on. This way.
Turn it a little bit.
Let's see, this way.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. You have to meet them.
Yes, yeah. And I had. Oh, hold on. Let me put my brightness a little bit. Hold on, this way. I think I put my brightness too high. Give me 1 second. Well, that's not it. With Sean Murphy, that just
cool.
Like the glare.
Wow, he is taller. Are you shorter?
I'm short. I'm 5 foot. Yes,
You're 5 foot?
Yes, I'm little. That one, and the guy from let me see, Big Bang Theory. He was Sean Murphy and him. They were a booth next to us because with the store I used Comic Island. That's where I used to work at. We had a booth there right next to them, and we were talking to them, and it was such a cool experience. Sean Murphy was he was such a nice guy.
What did he smell like?
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure good. Well, you know what? It's Palm Springs. It's the desert, and it gets 120 some here. So, and where they had the con was in the hangars from what are they called, from airplanes, where they have the
airplane hangars.
Yes, that's where it was. I'm not kidding.
What do they call the hangars with airplanes?
Yes, those. Sorry, I'm like, I thought they had another name for it. I don't know.
Airplane hangars.
Okay, but that's what it's a museum for.
Damn it! You're making me turn bright red. That was cute.
Sorry, my Mexican is showing. Okay. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Anyways.
Oh, shit.
Jesus, Lucy. Okay.
Yeah, that's where it was. So it was freaking hot in there. It was really hot. So I was probably not trying to smell anybody. Laura.
Anthony, you have my husband cracking up in the background. What do you call those places, the hangars with planes? Hangars.
I seriously thought they had another name. Okay.
Jen, that was hilarious. You guys are cracking me up. I think we're just about done for the night. Girls, before we go, if you guys haven't already, I got to plug myself here real quick, or plug Bird City Comics. We just today launched our Punchline #1 covers by Greg Horn. You have cover A, B, and of course the infamous C, which we are selling fast. So if you are interested, go to birdcitycomics.com or greghornart.com to pick up your copy today. We will be back. Girls, 6 o'clock or 9 p.m. Eastern time next Tuesday.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you guys come back to that show, and if you liked what you saw tonight, and if you come back next Tuesday, we will give away a set of these to somebody for making comments.
Ooh.
Wait, a set of like
comment. Let me comment real quick.
A set of the 3?
A set of all 3 of them will go home with somebody for commenting on the show.
Nice.
Just for showing your love and support. I know, pretty badass, right? So,
are you gonna sign them, Jen? Are you gonna sign them, Laura?
Yeah, I'll make a little. Did Laura just say plug or something? Yeah. How else do you word that? Whatever. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out.
I know what you mean.
Jen, you guys were amazing. We look forward to doing this again next week.
Okay.
Yay. So